The 10 most important events in economic history. Undoubtedly, for the past many years, the world has witnessed a lot of economic events that have changed how the entire world operates. These major economic events affect not only one country, but the whole world. What were these major economic events in economic history, and how did they shape the world? Let's get straight into it. But first, make sure to hit the subscribe button and push the bell icon, so you're always updated whenever we upload a new video. Number 1. China printing the first paper money. The number one most important event on our list is China printing the first paper money during the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907 CE. At that time, merchants started to entrust a reliable agent with clunky strings of coins so that the agent could write down how much money was on deposit for the merchant. After trading the paper, which served as a kind of promissory note for goods, the seller could visit the agent and exchange the note for strings of coins. However, these privately printed promissory notes were still not real paper money. When the Song Dynasty, 960 to 1279 CE began, the government granted licenses to particular deposit shops where individuals could keep their coins and begin receiving notes. The first real, officially produced paper money was issued by the Song government in the 1100s, when it was decided to directly control this system. Jiaozi was the name of this currency. Number 2. The Dutch East India Company becoming the first formally public traded company. The East India Company is usually reported as the first publicly traded company in history. The East India Company was the first publicly traded company for one straightforward reason only: risk. It was extremely challenging as well as risky to sail from one part of the world to another part of the world. This resulted in a lot of damages and losses. Because the ships went down and money was wasted, financiers realized they needed to take action to reduce all of the risks. As a result, in 1600, a special corporation known as the Governor and Company of Merchants of London trading with the East Indies was established. It was the renowned East India Company, the first corporation to implement the limited liability concept. It became the first company to publicly offer equity shares of its company, essentially carrying out the first initial public offering, IPO, ever. The first stock market crash in modern history was also significantly influenced by it. Number 3. The birth of the US dollar. Prior to 1792, most Americans struggled with money. If people had gold or silver, they could exchange goods and services for those precious metals. Some people might use Spanish or British coins. Other options included shells and pieces of land. Although colonies issued their own form of paper money, it was unreliable for use in transactions and travel. But on April 2, 1792, Congress created the dollar, which is now among the most recognizable symbols in the world. The United States Mint was established by the Coinage Act of 1792, a body tasked with issuing new coins and overseeing their movement abroad. The silver dollar served as the country's first legal currency. To have their own silver coined, individuals had to bring it to the mint. Number 4. Establishment of gold standard. At number 4 is the establishment of the gold standard. But what exactly is the gold standard? The gold standard basically is a monetary system in which the value of a currency is directly linked to the price of gold. This means that the currency is backed by the state and can be exchanged for a specific amount of gold. Gold did not become a universally accepted measure of currency value until the 1870s. Following numerous unsuccessful attempts to use different exchange methods, the United States ultimately adopted the gold standard in 1879. As of 1900, only gold could be used to redeem paper money in the United States, per the Gold Standard Act. Transactions no longer required using heavy gold bullion or coins because the paper currency had a guaranteed value linked to something real. The act also ensured that the government is capable of redeeming any amount of paper money according to its value in gold. Number 5. The Great Depression. The Great Depression is considered to be the 20th century's worst financial and economic catastrophe. Many people think that the 1929 Wall Street crash was what started the Great Depression, and that the US government's poor policy choices later made it worse. Nearly 10 years of the Great Depression saw massive income losses, the highest unemployment rates, and decreased output, particularly in industrialized countries. At the height of the crisis in 1933, the unemployment rate in the United States was almost 25%, which is certainly a massive number. Undoubtedly, thousands, if not millions of people were affected by this dreadful event. Number 6. Creation of Bretton Woods system and its collapse. The Bretton Woods Agreement of 1944 continues to be an important event in the economic history of the world. The main purpose of Bretton Woods Agreement and system was to create an international currency exchange regime. Also, the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, two institutions founded at Bretton Woods, ultimately contributed significantly to the post-World War II reconstruction of Europe. However, between 1968 and 1973, this agreement experienced a decline. U.S. President Richard M. Nixon temporarily ended the system on August 15, 1973, by halting the U.S. dollar's valuation against gold. Nixon was worried about the depletion of U.S. gold reserves as the amount of dollars circulating through the system exceeded U.S. gold reserves. Even though the Bretton Woods system collapsed in the 1970s, two of its major institutions, IMF and World Bank, have maintained their original purposes while also evolving to serve modern-day interests of various governments throughout the globe. Number 7. OPEC Oil Embargo. The OPEC oil crisis is deemed as another significant event in the economic history of the world. The crisis started when OPEC, Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries members, most of which are Arab countries, decided to retaliate against the United States for supplying Israel with weapons during the Fourth Arab-Israeli War. Oil exports to the United States and its allies abruptly came to an end when OPEC members imposed an embargo on oil. Due to these significant oil shortages and price increases, the United States and several other developed nations across the globe experienced an economic crisis. This event also led to economic stagnation and high inflation, and for that reason, this period is often referred to as the period of stagflation. Number 8. Great Recession. At number 8 is the horrible event of the 2007 and 2008 Great Recession. The global financial markets were devastated by the Great Recession, the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. The main cause of this dreadful crisis was the burst of the U.S. housing bubble. Lehman Brothers, one of the largest investment banks in the world, collapsed as a result of the crisis. It also forced the government to provide extraordinary bailouts for other important financial institutions and companies. The process of returning to normal took almost 10 years, during which millions of jobs were lost and billions of dollars in income were wiped out. Number 9. Birth of Bitcoin. As a decentralized currency that didn't require a central bank or any intermediary, Bitcoin was first introduced in 2008. It can be sent and received through the peer-to-peer Bitcoin network, where transactions are verified by nodes and stored on a blockchain. As Bitcoin and the idea of a decentralized cryptocurrency gained popularity, other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum emerged. The crypto market has been through many boom and bust cycles, and while many claim the blockchain technology is mankind's biggest technological innovation, others claim it's just a waste of energy. Time will tell who is right. The hodlers, or Warren Buffett, who several times have said he will never buy crypto. Number 10. COVID-19 Recession. At number 10 on our list of the important events in the economic history of the world is the COVID-19 recession. Travel restrictions, the closure of unnecessary businesses, and the implementation of policies requiring social segregation on a global scale are just a few of the steps that the US and other countries took to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. These actions had a seriously negative impact on the economy and resulted in the COVID-19 recession. According to the National Bureau of Economic Research, NBER, the U.S. economy started contracting in February 2020. On June 8th, NBER officially declared the recession. This was the first recession to hit the United States since the Great Recession. which, as we discussed before, started in December 2007 and lasted until June 2009. More than any previous recession, the COVID-19 recession had severely impacted some industries. Those that depend on the movement of people, while largely sparing others, those that depend on the movement of information. The reopening also sparked the inflation wave the world is currently struggling with. Alright everyone, that's all for today. We hope you found this video to be informative. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button and share this video with your friends who you think would be interested in watching it. Also, if you want us to cover some more amazing topics like these, you can let us know in the comment section. Until next time, goodbye for now.